Hello and welcome everyone to the Daddy's Darks Types channel. It's great to have you guys here. It's definitely been a while since I've actually done a video, and but I'm gonna be recording again. Maybe not just this. Maybe we'll see some other stuff, but that's really on if you guys are willing to, watch that, because that's how that works. But to start everything off, this will be the UTA Season 5 draft analysis. And for those of you who don't know what UTA is, obviously it stands for the United Trainers Association. One of the mods there, I'm in the Legendary Division, which means we're at the toppest bracket where everyone is at like the top of their game. Supposedly, that's the point of it. Um, and today, I'm going to show off what we drafted on our team. So, without further ado, let's start off with what we first picked. And the first thing we picked, of course, was T-Tar. So the thing about Tyranitar is it's a menace if you don't prep for it right. Banded, you can even run specs sometimes magically. Understand, obviously, it is a decent special defensive wall with AV. That's +2 to special defense for free, basically. And overall, a great sand setter. Now, the reason why I picked this pick is because it was obviously in T2, which this is the first time it's ever touched T2, and I couldn't just let that go. It was definitely a hot pick from a lot of people. I was not high in the draft. I was picked 13 out of 16, so I was really lucky to get it and not get it sniped from me. And then, of course, I had to pair it up with its favorite friend, Excadrill. Obviously, as everyone knows, Hexcadrill is one of the premier sand abusers. One of the only good ones, realistically. There's not a lot to choose from. But thankfully, we were able to get that as well, and it wasn't sent from us, so we got our sand core immediately. And the best thing that I really like about this team is that it doesn't rely on sand so much to where I have to bring it every week. I can bring different things. Excadrill can come without Sand Rush. I mean, hell, I could run Sand Force instead if I want to just do more damage with my Steel and Ground type modes. I can run Mold Breaker if I just need to EQ some Levitators. I can do really a lot of things with these pairings. Now, to pair these two up, I needed to make sure that I had another powerhouse so that people really had to kind of fear, um, fear me. Like, because that's kind of like how I draft. I like to draft a lot of like, hey, be scared, right? So, the next one on the list, I'm surprised it got to me all the way from round 3. It is a very, very good Mega, and of course is Mega Gallade. Some people very often try to say that is one of the best in draft. I disagree. I don't think it's one of the best. But however, I do agree that it's like one of the like top 10, top 5 even megas in draft. So I'm glad we got it, and this gives us a extremely scary like lineup. Like it's ridiculously scary, and there's just a lot of potential here. Obviously, Gardevoir with a 110 speed puts us in a nice speed bracket, speed tiers wise. Obviously, not including the Sandrush Excadrill, gives us a good, decent Mon that can kind of force out some Scarves to show up, which, Excadrill would love to take down, given that it's going to outspeed most of those Scarfers anyway. Oh, excuse me. About doing it anyway. So, of course, the next pick was interesting because how the tiers worked, obviously, it's a combination of usage, it's a combination of, obviously, how good they are, and tier suggestion votes. And it flew under the radar for this season, but I don't think it'll fly for too much longer, is Tier 4 Moltres. Now, when I did draft this, a lot of people wanted it. It was I was yelled at and begged for to drop it as a Tier 4 fire type. It is by far the best Tier 4 fire type, and with all the fire types flying away, I'm really, really glad that I was able to get this now, because originally in my plan I did have Arcanine, but unfortunately that did have to go away. Arcanine went away, and Incineroar went away. Like, fire types were flying. I think Rotom Heat went away pretty after that, and just like a lot of fire types just disappeared, and it didn't really give me a lot to choose from. So I wanted to make sure that I got a fire type before really anything else went down. So of course, our pride and joy, Moltres is here. This also means that our fire type is immune to ground type moves. This also pairs really well with the Excadrill T-Tar core that we have going up for sand as well, because obviously Moltres doesn't really like rocks that well, but of course heavy duty boots makes it so it's a lot more viable with that. It also, because it immunes ground, it helps with Excadrill and T-Tar. It also makes it to where the fire types from T-Tar come in, and the grass types from T-Tar and Excadrill come in, and Moltres just kind of burns them up and doesn't really needs to worry about anything like that. Obviously, the next one on the list is I wanted to make sure that we had a really good grass type, and on top of that, I wanted to make sure that I had something for fighting types, because obviously I've Gallade that can double resist fire types, I have Moltres that can resist, but I just wanted an immunity. So next we'll have Delmise coming in. Delmise is a perfect pairing because it resists the water types, it resists the ground types, it's immune to the fighting types. With Moltres and Delmise together, they're able to pair up with Excadrill's weaknesses of fire, fighting, ground, um, water, and like anything else he can't really handle himself. So those two together are going to be able to pull tremendous amount of weight to the team. Now, obviously, the next one coming up is like we had to get our fairy type, and a lot of people are really curious as to why I grabbed this, especially because it seems counterintuitive. But Alolan Ninetales is my next pick. Now, the thing with Alolan Ninetales is that um, while it is another weather setter. The cool thing about this is sand and hail are both the two weathers that do damage. So that is residual damage on the enemy team at all times. Because obviously when Ninetales is in, it's immune to the hail effect. And then if I switch back into T-Tar, that's sand, and I'm immune to the sand as well. And they can kind of just ping pong back and forth between the two of them if I really need to, just to get free damage off regardless of who they have. And obviously, Aurora Veil is pretty nice. Making sure my Ice Step has Freeze Dry is imperative. Ninetales also has a really good, decent speed. It's also got Nasty Plot, so I can even set up and start sweeping people with Ninetales if I can really get a hold of that. And it's really good. Really good overall. And one thing I did forget to mention, of course, is that Moltres and Delmise does help with my hazard removal. Moltres being a defogger with heavy-duty boots is pretty good, and especially with Delmise as well, being able to rapid spin and be a rapid spin denial. That's another thing about ghost types as well, because rapid spin is a normal type move. That actually gives me two rapid spinners with both Excadrill and Delmise. So overall, like really, really good for me in that. So next, of course, is Wheezing. Now, the thing about Wheezing is, once again, another ground type answer. With being an immunity to grass type, meaning that really Psychic is its only weakness, and of course T-Tar can take Psychics all day long. The thing with Wheezing, though, is not just that it's levitated, it also has neutralizing gas. So if I don't need it to go levitate, I can go the gas, and I can kind of nullify certain abilities from happening. Like, for example, if they really want to come in and set their weather up, well, if I have Wheezing out, they can't. And that's like going to be really strong. And of course, also another thing to mention is that it can, like with Will-O-Wisp and T-Spikes and being able to transform into either a grounded or non-grounded poison type, I can make sure that it will always be able to pick up T-Spikes if I need it to, but it doesn't always have to be grounded in that way as well. I can always immune the ground types as well. So overall, Wheezing is perfect for that. It's also a really good defensive wall. It just does really well on this team. Next up is our premier water type, which of course will be Suicune here. So Suicune is a powerhouse. For those of you who don't know about Suicune, there's a thing called Crocoon, which basically a lot of people like to call Cuntcoon as well. Where you go sub, rest, calm mind, scald. And as long as they don't have a water immunity, you could just do that. And you run like match HP, match defense, and you just kind of sit there. And if you play it right, you just don't die. And it really is just ridiculous. Also, Suicune being extremely tanky, like the definition of a bulky water type, and being able to still be offensive at the same time means that I can do a lot of different things with it. And it's just going to be a really good addition to the team. Next, we have a little fun pick in Cincino. The thing with Cincino is that I kind of needed some speed overall. Really, I only had Gallade and Ninetales, and then of course Exegel Understand for natural speed. And I wanted something that was above 110 to really threaten out Scarfers. And to really be able to come in and outspeed most of its opposition, even if I wanted to Scarf Cincino as well, to really make sure that nothing outspeeds it. Cecino is interesting. It has one of the newest moves of Triple Axle, so it does gives me some ice coverage. Cool thing about that is Skill Link did get a buff this last generation with being able to. It changed triple axle and triple kick to where they're now affected by skill link, meaning that they only get checked for accuracy once. So now instead of triple axle having 90% accuracy per hit, it only has 90% accuracy once, which incredibly makes it more reliable as a move. It also means that if I hit it, it's gonna hit all three times, which like altogether, that's a 120 base power move, which is ridiculous. And I even have Technician, so if I really wanted to, I could go Technician Triple Axle and get double that power and just hope to dear God I hit all three. um, but I can do some shenanigans with Cecino as well, being able to be a really good fast U-turner as well. I have good momentum overall with this team, and like Adelaide's got teleport, I've got Cecino with U-turn, Moltres got U-turn, and this last mon, Run of Fan with Volt Switch. Now the thing about Run of Fan is, ironically enough, its ability is just shit. I'm just gonna say it flat out. Levitate on a flying type Pokemon is ridiculous, but I got it for its typing and for what it does as a Rotom. Now, it's a low tier Rotom, obviously, so it's a good value pick. It once again gives me another ground type immunity. But what it also does is it doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses. With electric and flying, your only really two weaknesses are rock and ice, which, aren't exactly common types to really live long. Obviously, Rock and Ice are one of the frailest types in the game, so I'll be able to cover its weaknesses with the rest of my team here. And of course, Heavy Duty Boots Rotom could be another defogger for me. It also gives me a secondary Will Whisper. It also gives me a T-Waver. It also gives me just a lot of like necessary utility, and I can even run Nasty Plot and just go Air Slash, Thunderbolt and stuff like that. I can go offensive as well. Overall, as like a overarching plan with this team is that a lot of it is comfort. Extratrail T-Tar is one of my most favorite combos in the world. I've done it so many times. It will always be a comfort pick for me. Suicune is one of my favorite water types of all time. Definitely a comfort pick. Same thing as Weezing and Ninetales. Ninetales being my favorite ice type of all time. And just overall, like, this is like one of the strongest teams that I've drafted in a while. And like altogether, I think this will be my season again. I obviously, for those of you who don't know, for UTA, in season one when I made my debut to UTA, I won it all. I won it all with Excadrill on my team and Suicune. They are the OGs, as they will, and they came back. Now, another thing I wanted to mention as well is that I will be using a naming convention. So that means instead of giving them random names throughout the whole season, I will actually be naming them right here and now, based off of a particular anime that I love watching. And basically, for those of you who don't know, this is actually kind of copying on what Pokegame does. But it's just always been something that I've wanted to do, having a naming convention for a draft team. I've never done it because I always forget to nickname them. And honestly, I think this is going to be the perfect time to like stick to it. So after some thoughts on like what I should name them after, um, now I did say anime. I did kind of mislead you because I'm actually going to be my naming convention for this is actually going to be Avatar, Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Korra series. I'll include both. Um, and so overall, that's what I'm going to be naming people. So start off with Excadrill, my boy, Excadrill is gonna be our boy Sokka. Obviously, Sokka has to be Excadrill because he's the main guy. He's gonna be coming in with his like boomerangs and such, sharp edges, knives, going into battle. It's Sokka. Now, obviously, being like like a sand kind of rock bending kind of type, our next one's going to be Toph. Now, actually, hang on, let me switch that. Toph may be better as Excadrill because it's still ground. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make Excadrill Toph. I'm gonna make Titar Sokka. I think that's probably better overall. Obviously, Moltres is gonna be Zuko. Um, I don't remember what the Swamp Bender's name is, but that's kind of what I wanted to do for Delmise. Um, obviously, Suicune's gonna be Katara. Uh, I think I'm gonna make. I think I think I'm gonna make Gallade. Um, hmm. I don't know. What avatar thing would be perfect for it? I don't know. Because I kind of want to make Ninetales the 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 moon spirit, the person who became the moon spirit, Sokka's girlfriend and such. Obviously, Sensino is Suki. We all knew that. Um, Rotom fan, not sure. Actually, I think I'm gonna make Gallade Korra. Weezing, I almost want to say would probably be. I want to make Weezing the Cabbage Man. I don't even know if he has like a canonical name, but I think that'd be hilarious to name him the Cabbage Man. And then for Ninetales and Delmise, I don't remember what I should do for each of those. Like Ninetales is obviously it's got to be like a crisp ice bender kind of like So what's like a premiere? Oh, I know. Weezing's Boomy, or should Delmise be Boomy? Because Boomy, like Delmise has like one eye, so I think Delmise is gonna be Boomy. Weezing could be Bulin or whatever I said, and then Ninetales should be. What would Ninetales be? That is a good question. I don't want to waste so much time, like just like the end of this video, just thinking about the name. So I guess Ninetales will be. I'll figure that out later. But thank you all for tuning in. This has been the UTA Season 5 draft analysis. Obviously, at the end there was a little bit more fun for nicknames and such like that. But overall, I'm extremely confident for the season. I'm going to be putting my all into every single game. For schedule wise, how it's going to work is that I'm going to have the team review slash builder, I guess, before the game starts. So the video that the game is at is going to be the same video that the um, has the games in it. So like the team builder and the game are going to be in the same video, just to kind of make it easier for everybody. Um, and yeah, all right. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.